and type of servers based on the services. Just a list only. Web server, file server, DHCP server, DNS server, WDS server, mail server, database server, storage server. Okay, just servers on the names. Later you can, that is for explanation and information purpose. What server will do kind of stuff, explanation. And in a OS base, Windows server operating systems, Linux server operating systems, Unix server operating system kind of stuff is also there. And there is a tower server, rack mount server, blade server kind of stuff also there. Okay. So what is a data center? Very simple it is. A data center contains a multiple components like a data center contains servers, like a blade servers, rack servers kind of stuff, storage devices, SAN type of storages, NAS type of storages, iSCSI disk or okay, SAS type of disk. We have networking components, routers, switches, cabling, firewalls, security purpose, right? For security, firewall kind of stuff, NICs, fiber optical connectivity, backup power supply, cooling system. Okay, so the cabling connectivity. So it's in a data center. So in the monitoring of data center again, so you have to monitor all these components status. And also we discussed about a work group and domain. So what is a work group? What is domain? Like a decentralized administration, centralized administration kind of stuff. Okay. Whether you are in a work group or a domain, so how to connect it to domain kind of stuff. Next, what is an Active Directory? So 2 points I said as for a Active Directory is a Active Directory database and Active Directory authentication. So Active Directory database stores user, computer, group services and resource information. Authentication means user when domain user try to log into domain computer, so your Active Directory will authenticate. Okay. So that's the point we discuss. Now we'll go to the DHCP part first of all. Guys, again, there is a 2 points, 2 parts are there in a DHCP. One is what is a DHCP and what is the manual and automatic, static, dynamic differences, advantages, kind of stuff. Next one is how this DHCP server works, and another one is what is DORA process inside. So totally, uh, 2 parts or 3 parts you can able to understand. Okay. So if you don't get the DORA process, but still it is very easy. DORA name is very easy. So this is about your DHCP. Next one is DNS, and before DNS we have to discuss about APIPA. That is the become fourth one. Okay, and then we'll go to DNS after completion of this one. So we'll start. Okay, what is DHCP? Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. DHCP is a protocol and DHCP is a server. DHCP server provide a IP address or a assign an IP address. Exactly say DHCP server assign an IP address to DHCP client. This is assign an IP address. So it's a client PC. So it is not at all good. So all are in the same network only, but simply I'm trying to say assign an IP address to each and every. So a lot of people think, sir, I have a laptop. So my laptop has an IP address. I'm communicating in the network means I have an IP address that is given by manufacturer only. No, guys, your laptop or a mobile phone or a tab or a desktop, there is no default IP address. Okay, so you may get an IP address from your DHCP server. Maybe you can get it out. Already we explained in a first classes only, but I'm telling again. Maybe we'll get it out. So I don't have any server here. No Windows server, no Linux server kind of stuff. Then how I'm getting a DS IP address? Your router, your Wi-Fi router act like a DHCP server in your home environment, office environment also. You have a Wi-Fi router. The Wi-Fi router is act like a DHCP server. You are not putting one separate server now, Alan. You are getting IP address from your DHCP server. Okay. So, guys, you have a network. You have an adapter. So I'm going to open my adapters. So ncpa dot cpl or a go to control panel network and sharing center. Why it is open like this today? This is now good. See, this is my adapter. It got an IP address like this. It has an IP address. It's look like different IP address from yesterday, but this is now a IP address. I have a two. I came to home, right? So I have a two routers. Okay, it depends upon which router I'm connecting. That IP address I will get it. It is I got an IP address, but I didn't assign this IP address on my own. I didn't assign this IP address on my own. Okay, so how I got IP address? I got this IP address automatically from this particular DHCP server. From this DHCP server. So you see DHCP enable S means you're telling to your adapter get IP address from DHCP server. So I'm going to properties. So this is how to configure IP address automatic way. Select IPv4 properties. It is obtain an IP address automatically. Means I'm telling to this adapter get IP address from DHCP server. Obtain IP address automatically. Get IP address automatically. Okay. If in case, I want to assign an IP address manually. So for example, see it is this for this adapter I assigned IP address manually. Can you see DHCP server address is not showing and DHCP enable is no. Meaning is, so look at here, IPv4, it is IPv4 properties, use following IP address. For example, in this condition, what is this meaning? DHCP client means I am telling to my adapter get IP address from DHCP server. Get an IP address from DHCP server. That is a configuration number one. So my adapter, I am telling to my adapter get IP address from DHCP server. I make it as a DHCP client. If I realize, no, I want to assign an IP address manually, means I will assign myself only. For example, I'm assigning an IP address, for example, 10 dot 10 0 dot 10 dot 311 something. Just for our understanding, I'm assigning an IP address. It is a class A IP address. That's it is. Subnet mask is automatically 255.0.0.0. Default subnet mask it is displayed. For example, I have a default gateway and I have a DNS server in my own. So then also I'm assigning a DNS server. Just some numbers only, guys. Click OK. Close. I assign an IP address to this adapter manually. To look at here, details. DHCP enabled now. Assign to it. So it meaning is the static IP address. It is a static IP address, manually configured IP address. You guys understand that point? Manually, how to configure IP address manually. And your IP address is manual or automatic? Do you understand the differences? I'm going to properties, IPv4 properties. So this is I configured manually, I configured an IP address. Now I realize I may change the network. In my network, I have a DHCP server. In my network, I have a DHCP server. So I'm telling to this adapter, get IP address from your DHCP server. So where you are connected, based on that network, so better to get an IP address from DHCP server. So what I have done, obtain IP address automatically, obtain DNS server address automatically. So I'm telling to my adapter, get IP address from DHCP server. Obtain IP address automatically. Click OK, close. It is DHCP enabled. Yes. Yes means you you will get IP address from DHCP server, and I got some IP address. The IP address, subnet mask, DHCP server address, DHCP server address, please obtain, please expiry, please obtain, please expiry. DHCP enable yes means you got an IP address from DHCP server, and this is the IP address, proper IP address. Okay. So this is IP address. I got it from this DHCP server. For this adapter, I got an IP address from this particular DHCP server. So that is manual and automatic. Manual means use following IP address. Automatic means obtain IP address automatically. If you put obtain IP address automatically, means your adapter is trying to get IP address from a DHCP server. Use use following. If you use following IP address, means you are telling to your adapters, take this IP address. You configuring an IP address on yourself. Guys, understand difference manual and automatic configuration? Means how to do the options.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is this DHCP server do? It assign an IP address to clients automatically. It or we can say it configure IP address to the client, or it configures the client IP address. Also, you can say like that. So DHCP dynamic host configuration protocol port number 6768. DHCP server assign an IP address to the clients automatically, or we can say DHCP server configures client IP address to the client, or like that we can say. Okay, so assigning an IP address, guys. To assign an IP address to a device or an adapter, you can assign manually, like I showed how to configure manually, and automatically means from DHCP server. If you configure manually means that IP address we call it as a static IP address. Configure manually, the IP address is static IP address. These IP addresses cannot be changed automatically when you change the network. I am here in my hometown, so then I am getting an IP address from this adapter. Now, for example, I configured manually. Depends upon my network, so my router network and all, so I configured manually. Now I went to my office, or maybe I went to some other place. Okay, so maybe I went to the Pune office or like that. So my IP address is not changing automatically. My IP address is not changing automatically. So obviously, it is problem, right? First problem. So what is the best way in that cases? It is always use automatic IP addresses only. Here it is. IP addresses cannot be changed automatically. Once you fix the IP address, it is an IP address. Depends upon your networks. You have to fix the IP address, enter the manual IP address. More number of devices increases. For example, you have your own individual PC, no problem. Or you are in an organization, okay? And more number of computers are there, 100 computers are there. Very difficult to assign an IP address by going to one by one PC, right? One by one laptop or device. You have to go one by one, you have to assign an IP address. Like you are an administrator, you have to go to each and every PC to assign an IP address. Number of PCs increases, number of devices increases, or number of systems increases. It is difficult. More burden on the administrator in a manual. Next one. Yes. While you are giving an IP address, there is a lot of possibility of entering wrong IP. Entering wrong IP address. Some people will assign an IP address. So I said 172.16.10.20. So how they will put it? 170.216.10.20. So what happened? It's a completely different network. Some people put a 172, 168 for one PC, another PC, different network. So obviously, based on what is the IP address you are assigned, the communication is also there, right? There is a possibility of conflicts. Conflict means two PCs having two or more PCs having same IP address. Not only network address, guys, complete IP address is same. For example, one PC is 170.16.10.20, and some other PC is also having same IP 170.16.10.20. So because by mistake or by we don't know that IP address of a PC, something by some sequence, other kind of stuff, people do mistakes. Okay, so two or more devices having a same IP address called IP conflict. IP conflict devices cannot communicate to anyone, so it is out of communication. Conflict, IP conflict, then no communication. So next one is so wrong IP addresses. So giving a entering an IP address wrongly. Then is it is a mismatches, then automatically no communication. Okay. Next one, guys, how many people knows how to assign an IP address? Just to show you how to assign an IP address. Before that one, how many times you know how to assign an IP address? Right? So you are from the computer's background. You may know it. You may not know it also. Right? See, whether you are from computer's background or not does not mean you know it. Okay? You may not know how to assign an IP address. Think about lot of people are using computers, mobile phones, tablets, laptops, lot of devices we are using nowadays which connects to the network like smart TVs, right? Not everyone knows how to assign an IP address kind of stuff. Second one is there is a certain devices are very difficult to assign an IP. Desktop, laptop, we know very easy to interact with the network adapter, but come to the mobile phone, it is little different. Okay, smart TVs, smart LEDs. smart LEDs, smart TVs, smart LEDs, smart ecosystem like Alexa, Dot, Google Home, Nest, smart plugs. These are all very difficult to assign an IP address, right? Can't assign, or it is very difficult to assign an IP address. We don't know how to assign a. So this is the manual related problems. Then we'll come to the automatic, means automatically assigned IP address means it is a dynamic IP. It is can be changeable IP address. It means when I connected to your network, if there is a DHCP server, DHCP server giving me an IP address automatically means I got an IP address from a DHCP server in that network. Now my work is completed today, then I will went to my home and I connected to my router, then I am getting new IP address from my router. Like this, whenever you change the network, automatically IP address is changes because of it's a DHCP. So you need to configure manually. Next, so it is a less possibility of entering wrong IP because your server is giving an IP address to you, but you are not assigning. So obviously, there is it follow a sequence of assigning an IP address. So obviously, wrong IP addresses conflicts will be very less. Everyone not required to know how to assign IP address. I don't require to know how to assign IP address. Lot of people, technical, non-technical background people, old people, new people, or young people, kids. Everyone using a computers, laptops, mobile, tablets, kind of stuff, right? So they don't know how to assign an IP address, but not required. We have a DHCP server will give you the IP address to your devices. And different devices also will get an IP address automatically from DHCP server once you are connected to their Wi-Fi kind of stuff. Like your smart printers, smart TVs, smart devices like smart LEDs, plot plugs, Alexa kind of stuff. So you need to open their interfaces and give the IP address kind of stuff to some other devices automatically, and it will got IP address automatically. You have to confirm the details only. So this is about your DHCP guys. DHCP means Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. It has an IP address to the devices automatically. Okay, it configures device IP address automatically. So what is the difference between manually assigning and automatically assigning? Manual is uh, manually assigning an IP address. Number of devices increases. It's difficult to assign an IP address to one by one PC. And it is a static IP address. It cannot be changed directly with the change of network. You have to change manually again. Possibility of wrong IP address entrance while you are entering an IP address, and conflicts may occur. Here one does not know how to assign an IP address, and for certain devices are very difficult to assign an IP address. Automatic guys, so the DHCP server is assign an IP address to the devices or a client devices. Okay, even if you change your network, to that IP address will be changed according to the network from DHCP server get an IP address. Okay, so when we change the IP address, it is automatically. When we change the network IP, automatically IP address changes. Okay, there is a less possibility or a very less possibility of entering wrong IP address conflicts. Conflicts resolve itself. Okay, conflicts will be resolved itself. Everyone not required to know how to assign an IP address. Okay, so how to assign an IP address not required to by know everyone. And also you can assign an IP address through DHCP server to a multiple type of devices. Multiple type of. So this is DHCP. Here it is. This is a DHCP server. A, B, C, D, 4 computers. ABD are DHCP client. C is not a DHCP client. How it is C is not a DHCP client? Because I assign an IP address manually to CPC. So ABD are a clients. C is not a client. Okay, because it is configured manually. Next, in DHCP server we have a scope, means range. So whenever a client system asking an IP address, I will give like this. So like a tokens, tickets, ticket numbering, tokens kind of stuff. But we should not use that words here. But in generally, it's like a ticket. Like I have a tickets ranging from 10 to 50. Okay, first one person is came like at first one is the serial number is 10, second one is 11, third one is 12 like that. So obviously I have a number is there. APC is asking an IP address to server, then it got an IP address. BP is asking an IP address to server, server is giving an IP address, right? And DPC will ask an IP address to server, server will give IP address to DPC. So CPC never ask IP address to DHCP server, so obviously it won't get any IP address from DHCP server. Why? Because it's a manually configured. So in our home or office kind of stuff, so more like your Wi-Fi router or a router act like a DHCP server, and another one is like a you have Windows Server operating system, we can make that one as a server. DHCP server, and of course Linux servers also support DHCP server environment. Once IP address is assigned to the client, so that is shows like IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DHCP server, DNS server, and lease obtained, lease expiry kind of stuff. Okay. So in your DHCP server, either it is a Wi-Fi router or any other regular DHCP server, important is based on your network, current network. So then you have to assign an IP address. So your Wi-Fi router or here it is a physical server. It is contains a scope range, means range of IP addresses. Each one will get an IP address from DHCP. The last point, okay. So not last point. So 2 points are there. Of course, people also there. Just relax for a minute, guys. 1 second. Just 1 minute. Okay. So, guys, here it is. This is my DHCP server. This is a client PC. I have a range like a, like a, here it as per this, it is 192.168.1.10 to 192.168.1.110. That is my full range. Now what happened? APC asked, I want an IP address. APC asked our server, I want an IP address. Guys, are you able to hear? I'm muted, unmuted.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So APC asked, APC is asking a DHCP server, I want an IP address. Then DHCP server give like a, take this IP address 192.168.1.10. So once it is given an IP address, so what APC is getting? IP address, of course, and subnet mask. If in case default gateway is there, then default gateway, DHCP server address. Who is the DHCP server? So that is my server having an IP address, right? So the DHCP server IP address, DNS server address. If in case I have a DNS server in my network, so I will tell DNS server address. So once I given a IP address now it is 1106. So 1106 lease obtained at 1106. So 1st November 2022. Lease expiry the depends upon the server. Different timing is there. Some are 8 days, some are 4 days, some are 2 days. So depends upon the lease period. The lease expiry is there. Lease period, lease expiry is there. Okay. So this is the configuration, right? So when A is asking an IP address to the server, server giving a IP address to APC. But not only IP address, no, IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DHCP server address, and DNS. Guys, out of this one, default gateway and DNS are optional, depends upon the server configuration only. Depends upon server configuration. So I will show you this. This is my adapter. See, I got an IP address from some DHCP server, some DHCP. VMware DHCP server is also there. See, I got a IP address, subnet mask, DHCP server address. Lease obtained, lease expiry. So this lease obtained, lease expiry is a little different from till 10:45 and this is 11:50. Okay, see that. Where is the default gateway? Where is DNS server? Not showing. But if you go to this adapter, I got this adapter from IP address from DHCP server. See IP address again subnet mask, lease obtained, lease expiry. Very good. And this is the default gateway. Yes, this is DNS server. This is DHCP server. Lease obtained 1st November 0713 means morning 7 o'clock only. I start my laptop. So I'm leaving. I have small work. I thought when before I return this system, that it will take a lot of time. So I started at 7 o'clock only. I'm here only from 9 o'clock. From almost like 9:15. I'm here only in front of laptop only. Okay. So morning 7 o'clock. Okay. I got this IP address morning 7:13. It will be expired by 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock 13 means how many hours of it is? Morning 7 to evening 4 o'clock. Okay. So how many duration is there? That duration we call it as a lease period. Lease period. Mostly 7 means 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3. So 9 hours or 8 hours. It is almost like it is like 9 hours. 9 hours is a lease period. 50% of this lease duration. 50% of this lease duration is like a 4.5 hours. Okay, 4.5 hours. 50% of this lease duration. Okay, 4.5 means 4 hours 30 minutes. 4 hours 30 minutes. 4.5 means 4 hours 30 minutes. It will renew again. It will renew again. It means again 9 hours extension will happen at this particular time. 4 means like 8, 9, 10, 11, 11:30, like that. So 11:30. Yeah, we have 13 minutes there, no, plus 13 minutes. At this time, it will be extend this one. So it means the meaning is again 9 hours expand. Understand? Again, we have to add 9 hours to it. So it is around 20. 30 plus 13 minutes. So this is become expiry time. Okay. This is called a lease period, lease uptime, lease expiry. Lease uptime means when you got a IP address. Lease expiry when this IP address will be expires from server. From server. And you have to renew before it is expires. Right? Before it is expires, you have to renew. So you have a recharge. Before it is expires, you do recharge kind of stuff, right? The period today you recharge 28 days. After 28 days, it won't work. So what you will do, you active more than before 28 days only, you have to pay the bill and recharge it, then you will go into continue the use of services. Okay, that is a kind of lease period and stuff. But so much of story is there. Guess again, I got IP address, subnet mask, lease uptime, lease expiry, DHCP server plus default gateway and DNS server also showing. Default gateway and DNS server also showing here for this adapter. So my router is giving, my DHCP server is giving default gateway information and DNS information also. This one DNS server information, default information is not there. Depends upon the server. For some people like this is manually configured. DHCP enabled means this IP address is configured manually. So whatever it is, this is the point. So who can be a DHCP server in our home? Our Wi-Fi router act like a DHCP server. Okay, and also there is a different Windows servers, Linux servers are there too. You can create your own DHCP server. You guys understand how DHCP server works?
Yes, sir.
So this is how this leads generations, how it is works kind of stuff. This is the PPT. First, I told very simple way. APC want an IP address. It asks DHCP server, I want an IP address, and DHCP server given IP address to APC. See, very simply I told. Does not much simply, guys. This is a DHCP. Oh, this is a DHCP server, and this is the client. Okay. In network, only two are there means easy. Not only two, right? So there is a lot of Machines are there, lot of servers also there. Server or anything, guys, it is a computer machine only. Okay. Point is, you have a server and you have a client and you have other PCs also there. Your client is need an IP address, right? It need a IP address. Client need an IP address. Client need an IP address. Now, client need an IP address means what to do? It should ask a DHCP server. I want a IP address, right? Client don't have IP address. It need an IP address. It should get IP address from DHCP server. That's what we are telling, right? Obtain IP address automatically. We are telling to your this adapter, go and find where is your, go and get a IP address, obtain IP address automatically. The client does not have any IP address and client does not know who is the DHCP server also. Who is DHCP server also client does not know. Okay. Now what this client will do, it broadcast a package. Of course, there is some more information is there, like a source IP, destination IP, source MAC address, destination MAC address kind of thing is also there, of course. But source IP is, this is the source IP. Source MAC address is this PC MAC address only. Destination MAC address, sorry, destination IP is fully broadcast IP address. And we don't know the who is the destination, so then we use a broadcast MAC address, broadcast IP address only. And I'm sending a packet to everyone. Okay, everyone who connected in the network will send it. I broadcast to everyone a packet. The packet is contained like this. The packet is having this one. So the packet is uh, uh, called DHCP discover packet. The packet is DHCP discover packet. The client broadcast to everyone. Broadcast means everyone. Those who are connected in the network, it will send a discovery packet. Okay. Now, what is the advantage of sending that discovery packet? Meaning is, it is asking like, are you DHCP server? Are you DHCP server? Are you DHCP server? Like that. It is asking, are you DHCP server? Are you DHCP server? Are you DHCP server? So this PC will drop the packet. Means I'm not a DHCP server. So this is not a DHCP server. It dropped the packet. It is not a DHCP server. It dropped the packet. It understand, yes, I am the DHCP server. It accept the packet. It accept the packet. Yes, I am the DHCP server. Do you want an IP address? So I am a DHCP server. Do you want an IP address? Then it send that packet called a offer packet. So it will send a offer packet to everyone because your PC, your C1 does not have any IP address here. Send directly. Okay, and I don't know DHCP server, but we know the C1's MAC address. So with that one only it is sending. So it broadcasts to everyone with the C1's MAC address as a destination MAC address. So then C1 accept this packet because of the destination MAC address is matched. Next, C1 will check that offer. C1 to the offer, right? Like first of all, C1 try to find where is the DHCP server. means by sending a discover packet. Now server received it. Server send a offer packet. Server send a offer packet. Do you want this IP address? Do you want this IP address? This IP address is available. Do you want it? Now the client understand, yes, I want your IP address, and then it is sending a request. Sending a request. Of course, by broadcast means to everyone. Okay, but mainly for S1 only, because still we don't have an IP address, and we know where is DHCP server, but still we don't have an IP address. We know their MAC address. Okay, so here it is. We send a request. So yes, I want this IP address. Now DHCP server, what it will do? It send an acknowledgement packet. So this acknowledgement contains IP address, subnet mask, IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DHCP server address, DNS server address, lease obtained, lease expiry. Okay. Now the client got a IP address. Guys, this process we call it as a DORA process. Discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. Once again, the client does not have any IP address, right? So client has to discover who is the DHCP server. It broadcast all communication is broadcast communication only here. Right? So DHCP client broadcast a DHCP discover packet, and DHCP server received that packet and broadcast DHCP offer, and client broadcast DHCP request, then DHCP server broadcast DHCP acknowledgement. So this is called a DORA, guys. DHCP use DORA process, discover, offer, request, acknowledge. It is a very good one, guys. Even if you have any touch with the server kind of stuff, maybe now or in a future, you are attending any interview, either this interview or maybe in future interviews, this DORA process explanation also will score if you are in a server side. Discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. Simply you can follow with the arrow marks. DHCP client means client discovers, client send a discover packet to discover DHCP server. DHCP server send a IP offer to client. Client request for IP address to DHCP server. DHCP server send an acknowledgement. Then your client will configure with IP address and lease obtained and lease expiry also. So that's why it is discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. So DHCP process called DORA process. DORA means discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. So server send a server. So client. So first of all, client to server is there. First of all, client request to the DHCP server. First of all, client try to find where is DHCP server using discovery packet. Once server received the discovery packet, it will send a offer packet, means do you want IP address kind of stuff. Okay, and server client request for that IP address, and server configures that IP address to the client by sending acknowledgement, including lease information. Guys, understand DORA process, discover, offer, request, acknowledgement.
Yes, sir.
So this is already we have seen. DHCP client means DHCP enabled yes, means you are a DHCP client. DHCP enabled no. DHCP enabled no means you are not a DHCP client. You want to configure as a manual, or you are configuring as a manual. This configured as a manual IP address, or it is right. This configured as a manual IP. DHCP enabled, no. DHCP enabled S means you want to get an IP address from DHCP. The dynamic. So option is obtain IP address automatically means you want to get IP address from DHCP server. Auto configuration. Use following IP address means configuring manually. So your DHCP client, this is not a DHCP client because manually configured. Guys, last point in the DHCP, that is APIPA once again. Okay, what is APIPA? Automatic private IP address. When you see an IP address, when you see some PC IP address, it is not configured as APIPA address. It is not configured. Sorry, when you see a PC and you check the IP address, some doubt is there, like a network is not working properly, internet is not working properly. You want to check the IP address. You check the IP address for your main adapter, like the connecting adapter. It is showing an IP address is 169.254 something dot something. Okay, if you see the IP address is 169.254, then means it is a APIPA address. So what is this APIPA and why we getting this IP address? Guys, look at here. When you choose obtain IP address automatically, there is a alternate configuration tab is there. But when you choose use the following IP address, the tab is gone. Look at that, the difference is there. It means if you are failed to get IP address from DHCP server, for example, there is no DHCP server in your network, you don't have DHCP server, or DHCP server is disconnected or not working properly, or service is down. So obviously you don't get a IP address from DHCP server. You don't get a IP address from DHCP server. So what system will do? System will assign an IP address in the APIPA range. So what is that IPPA range kind of stuff? In a 169.254 dot something, it will be assigned to you. Okay. So it means if you are unable to get IP address from DHCP server, system assign an IP address itself from APIPA range. Okay. So that is a APIPA 169.254 something. Okay. System assign an IP address to an adapter if you are unable to get an IP address from DHCP server. So how to resolve this kind of issue, guys? First of all, it is DHCP related issue. Think like it is a DHCP related. So go to DHCP server. Make sure that DHCP server is available. DHCP server is there. Check their connectivity. Check the services, or maybe restart the router. Restart the router, or any IP address limitations are there. Okay, or some any other subscription related are there, so we can try to resolve the issues. Okay, so next one is when you change your network, like I disconnected network from here and I went to some other place, I connected that network. My previous IP address also should be updated to the new one. Okay, or it is showing a APIPA address instead of getting a new IP address. Even the DHCP server is working fine now, but your IP address is not updating. Okay. Now what we will do? So very simple, guys. Go to your ncpa.cpl, go to adapter, right click, disable and enable the adapter. You can disable, enable the adapter to remove your old IP configurations to get a new IP address. Second one is otherwise you can do in a command prompt ipconfig space /release and ipconfig space /renew. So IP config space slash release is to remove the old configured IP address. IP config space renew to get a new IP address from DHCP server using DORA process. Okay. Yes, every IP address, if you are get, what are the IP address? It is every IP address we are getting from DHCP server has the lease period generally. Lease period is will be there generally. So 50% of the lease duration automatically client will renew the lease. Okay, client automatically renew the lease. Once you cross the 50% of lease period, so we'll get a new lease kind of stuff. I've calculated, but there is some minutes or second kind of stuff. So the lease period, 50% of the lease period, okay, 50% of lease duration, automatically lease period will be extends out at 50% of total lease duration. Try to extend the lease period. If in case at 50%, before 50% of lease period completed, before 50% of lease period completed, okay, you are disconnected from your DHCP and you are not done a renew at 50% of total lease duration. Then what to do? So it will try after at the time of 87.5% of lease duration, at least you can try to get a new IP address. And still you are not updated your IP address after even after 87% part of I. So obviously the server remove your IP address from the list and it may assign to some other. So you have to try again DORA process. Guys, in a lease duration, only two process runs. In a lease update, okay, lease update related, it is only two process. One is a request and acknowledgement only. Request and acknowledgement to update your lease duration. That is not updated, some other. So that's about your DHCP, guys. Important points in DHCP. What is DHCP? First of all, what is a DHCP? Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, which DHCP server assign an IP address to the clients automatically or configure client device IP address. Okay, port number 6768. Advantage of DHCP server is no one is not required to really know what is an IP address. So we'll get an IP address to our devices automatically. Okay, we are getting an IP address from DHCP server automatically. So difficult devices like a mobile phones, smartphones, smart apps, smart TVs, smart LEDs kind of devices will get an IP address from your Wi-Fi from DHCP. The best we are using, we are all having a DHCP server instead of purchasing a separate DHCP server or Wi-Fi router act like a DHCP server. Wi-Fi router act like a DHCP. Okay, so it is very easy to assign IP address, even though it is a multiple type of IP addresses and different type of devices. You can easily assign using DHCP server. That's it. All remaining are additional points. And also understand what is use obtain IP address automatically and use following IP address differences. Yes, next one is your DNS. After small break, we will going to discuss about what is DNS. Okay.